while Home Alone is a beloved comedy, it is important to consider the potential long-term trauma that Kevin might experience from his ordeal. Being left home alone at such a young age, coupled with the intense experience of defending his home from two dangerous criminals, could leave lasting psychological scars. Anxiety throughout life, difficulty trusting others. Nightmares and flashbacks are a real common thing that can happen. And along with that, you could have some difficulty forming close relationships with people. He might experience some avoidance behaviors, some things that manifest as phobias later in life. And finally, not to understate the possibility of guilt and self-blame. You know, he made his family disappear. And I think with the right amount of therapy, you could work through that and understand that, no, you didn't. This isn't your fault. You didn't make that happen. So you got to wonder, is the McCallister clan the type of family who's going to recognize that and make sure that Kevin gets the mental help that he needs?
Okay, I'm just going to come right out of the gate and say I disagree with all of that. I don't feel like Home Alone is a film about Kevin McCallister being left alone and then traumatized for the rest of his life. I feel like Home Alone is a story about a kid who is afraid of the world and is forced to exist on his own for a few days. And as a result, he grows and he learns to rely on himself a little more. And he realizes, I don't need to be afraid of these things. They actually aren't nearly as hard as I thought they could be. I do think it's probably, it's really scary, having to fend off robbers. I can't imagine he'd probably have some bad dreams about that. But I don't feel like that's the overall message of the film. I do think if Old Man Marley had showed up 60 seconds later and Kevin's dismembered fingers are dangling from Joe Pesci's feral lips. Yeah. That would cause some trauma. I could understand this movie then being a film.
Literal physical trauma.
Physical and mental.
You end up in the trauma unit. I mean, that's what we call trauma.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you picturing like Kevin's parents getting home and having imagined the worst things, and somebody broke into their house and bit their child's fingers off? Wasn't even probably on Kate's bingo card. You never imagined and really something so bad as this.
Larry Hankin in Family Crisis Intervention didn't even predict that.
No.
Has the child's fingers been bitten off by a home invader? So you think that he came close. He came close to the edge of trauma, but ultimately probably just bounced right back.
Yeah. The wet bandits are taken care of. He beat two grown adult men at their own game. I don't know. I think Kevin's walking away from this experience thinking, yeah, I can handle the world. I'm not traumatized by it. I like to think of Home Alone as this journey of Kevin going from
pack my suitcase
to
this is my house. I have to defend it.